on the scene. Might see me not living my dreams unlimited. I'm so clean. I'm so clean. That boy nice. Star. I'm slim. Hold my heart. So bad. Being who I am can change a man. That boy so clean. He's so fly. He mighty tall. He's so nice. His name is Coolio Jones. And this is Steam Boy Song.
Hey everybody, you know it's your boy Coolio Jones. Thanks for meeting me in Paradise Valley, and thanks to Ambassador Studios and the production team. So we here for another great day, and I got my boy Tosh the poet in the building.
Yo.
My dog. I'm so glad to have you here, bro. For real.
Oh, it's always a pleasure, man. You know, chill, good vibes, bless.
Hey, bro, we be doing the big stuff, man, and you know, I'm glad that you could join our Paradise Valley vibe. So how we like to kick it off is with our sense of social media. We want to go right into the things that's been kind of popping off in our community, and it's really been crazy. I mean, honestly. And Michigan here, what can I say, Twine? We done had tragedies after tragedies after tragedies. And I want to start by talking about the most pressing tragedy, the one that everybody should be aware of. And that's the Oxford High School shooting that happened in Oxford County. It was honestly just, it breaks my heart every time I think about it. A 15-year-old, literally.
Yeah, I heard they caught him not too long ago.
Right,
yeah. Like they suspect him.
They definitely,
Ain't that mad crazy, though?
It is mad crazy that, like, I mean, that we kind of going through this in 2021, but I think anytime in human history, when kids kill other kids, you know, it's just like a real problem, you know, so, but
I just find it crazy how, like, I mean, because then I got questions about it, because I haven't read too much into it, other than, like, just knowing about it, but, like, he only 15, right? So, where did he get it?
Right.
The household, I'm imagining. But that means like the parents got it in there, and it's like that leads to like safety issues and whatnot. But it's like, you know, but like this isn't the first time. It's, you know, we're getting a little too used to this story.
Right, but I don't think he got it from his parents. I mean, I know we probably jumped there, but why I say that is because 15. You about to drive. You pretty much about to drive. Yeah. At that point, like, I remember when I was just about to drive, that mean my friends was driving. Or, like, I probably knew somebody with a car. You know what I'm saying? And that dynamic, being able to go anywhere with my homies, do anything when ain't nobody watching me, you know? Who knows who he probably was around, who was probably misleading him. And those are the type of things that I think about. It's like, you being so young, I mean, to do something like this, it's truly going to change the rest of your life. But did you even think about that? Did you even think about the fact that you probably not even going to be free when you're 35?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Again, this is a story we're getting like way too used to. Think about all the different mass shootings we've had like over the years. People are seeing it more and more, and being that, like, you know, phones and social media, it's easier and more readily available. So not only are we having more of them, but more people are seeing them, and more people are seeing them at younger ages. And younger people are more impressionable. So it's like, you know, some people see like, oh, this happened, and they just go to, you know, jail, or they get locked up. And some people think like, okay, that's something I'm willing to deal with. If I do this, I'll go to prison. Or, you know, even in some situations, because, you know, the Kenosha shooter, he just got exonerated. So it's like, in some cases, they could even think like, okay, well, what if I do it and I end up getting, you know, it's like so much happens, and it's so available for people at such a young age that like it, you know, it changes the way they think, or they see it, and it makes them think some type of way, you know, that like maybe I could do this and get away with it. Or if this is my punishment and this is all I'm getting, I'm willing to deal with this punishment. And I think if that is the case, then it's like, that's sad. You know, maybe we should do a little bit better of a job with like what we let our younger generation see and what they're exposed to.
Definitely. You know, I think that honestly, taking these types of times where we can have these conversations, this is our first step at trying to provide a better model for those that are watching us. Just to, you know, talking about things. That's honestly the best way to solve any type of difference, any type of problem we may have. But I would like to also show them another way, and that's maybe with their art. because like I know you probably have like a poem or something that we could go into to help highlight or celebrate their lives. You know, those students that we lost in this time, and I feel like that's another great way for people to exercise like some of healing. You know, in this time. So I would like to kick with you. I know we typically don't like break up our saying social media, but today we want to do something different because in light of the tragedy and in light of our world needing more light, I want to go to you and to kind of bring in some poetry.
Okay. Well, again, hello everybody. I'm Taj. I'm a poet here in the D. When I think of this, the tragedy, I feel like in this situation, it's a little bit more personal, right? So it's like you want to talk more about the individual because it's like I know I made a few comments about like, you know, social issues, but we still got to think about him and who he was and like how kids may sometimes have to deal with things that are kind of like a little bit deep, like things kids should have to deal with certain things, right? So it's like you kind of break that barrier between kid and adult, and that makes me think of this one piece that I wrote, and it's called "To the Man Child I See in the Mirror," and I feel like this is a pretty good tribute to those students because I do want to talk about, you know, how some people have to deal with like big things. You know, it's like as a kid going to school, you would never imagine something serious or something so tragic. You know, a kid should never be exposed to that.
Right.
So this will be my tribute to that. And again, it's called "To the Man Child I See in the Mirror."
Yes.
As I touch down on the east side of Detroit, I'm immediately split down my meridian. I don't stay with my mother, so I return to my Aunt J and Uncle B. When I reach the house, I retreat to the basement in hopes of some relaxing revival away from school, only to meet strange, familiar faces. I always thought it was normal for my reflection to be fractured, asymmetrical features slightly distorted, one side slightly more appealing. The man looks at me and says, "You have to find your independence from all this expectation." The child looks every day for a way to make them proud. The man explains how we got to grind for this bag because the box don't last forever. The child wishes someone could at least pay the phone bill or get a plan together. The child isolates in fear of misunderstandings and emotion. The child looks for a girlfriend who teaches him to express himself. The man fights for the woman who has retaught him how to use words. But man has to be dark as fuck, tall as fuck, rich as fuck, hung as fuck. Child too light skinned with too much hair, so can't be boy. Child must be girl. Child cuts hair off. Man must be aggressive. Man can't wear that. Man gotta know when to shut up and listen. Child, all he knows is listen. Man got to be weak and strong. Child knows nothing but strength. Child thinks his mother doesn't know he was awake at night. Man understands his mommy couldn't hold that pain no longer. Child laughs while man cries. Child holy, man sinful. Child loves for the sake of entertainment while men love things to death. Men don't take no. Child knows no yes. Child walks in store. Don't touch nothing. Child never trusts that uncle or cousin. Mom, what is skin color? Child is something like a privilege. And those scars would tell more stories than your melanin. But child, be strong against the world. Man, be strong against yourself. Man, we can't fix you. Skin color something like a mouth. Let the black scream from your body. Man, something like a hashtag. Child looks for escapes. Man molds the days into healing. Why has this reflection always been shattered, separated, but still one, forced to collect different pieces of my representation? Don't you know I'm thankful for both of you? Child, know that beautiful people will come into your life, and you will trade that back brace for a spine. Child, you will learn to let tears flow and still be called a man. Boy, your journey must be unapologetic. You're light skinned because they burned your charcoal, set you to the flame, but something like a diamond underneath. Don't you know you're not a boy? Man, a woman's legs are your genesis. Dare not to spit upon those scriptures. Child never had man, but man here now, and I'm ready for you. Child is a state of being. Man is earned. I want what I cannot have, and I'm a child for it. But doesn't a man understand when to let things go?
Wow. That's deep, man. And tell us the title of that one more time.
It's called To the Man Child I See in the Mirror.
That was crazy.
Yes.
So again, I view that as a tribute because it's like a child should never be exposed to it. A child shouldn't have to go to school, you know, there for education. You're there for your friends.
Yes.
You know, especially at those younger ages. You know, even if school might be troubling for some, you still got your friends. You know, to some extent, they go to school for excitement. They go to school for some type of enjoyment. I mean, that's where we're doing half of our lives in school, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's
I had
like
a great time in school.
You would never think at the age of 15, 16-year-old, puberty, you starting to like, girls, boys, however. And it's like, for a tragedy like that to happen, that's a child doesn't deserve it.
Right before Christmas, right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's the horrible.
It's like
part.
you just came back from a holiday break and people getting busted in the hallway. What?
That's I feel like that right there in itself is just like so crazy to even think about.
It really is.
Like so crazy to be like. But the one thing that I want to at least like mention or at least try to put in people's heads is the fact that like, and I don't want to try to make him seem any better for what he did because it was wrong.
Definitely
but it's
wrong.
like, what pushed him to that point? If there was a point to be pushed to, or
everybody keeps saying that, and I want to address it. I want to address it. Thank you for passing it to me, Coach. The thing is that. Is it ever okay for you to walk into a school building and shoot everybody? Okay. No, it's not. I don't care. What you went through in life. See, this is the whole problem with kids born after 2000. Is that for some reason they somehow believe that because somebody else did something to them that it's supposed to matter to other people. It actually don't matter. And the fact that you feel like you can take your misery and your pain and spread it around everybody else. That's messed up. Like, you're not supposed to do that. It's supposed to make you a better person. You're supposed to learn how to deal with the things you're going through in life. And you're supposed to take those things that you're going through and you're supposed to learn how to be better about it. And the next person you encounter, you're supposed to show them the better side, not your response out of anger and spite and, revenge. No, we live in a revenge culture and we have to change it because like the fact that you can validate yourself to the point to say that it's okay for me to hurt somebody else because somebody hurt me, you have went too far. And it's never okay. I don't care what somebody did to you. First off, somebody should have told them it was not okay to hurt you. But now we here, so we're going to address where we are in reality. And in reality, you can't hurt other people because somebody hurt you.
But see, that's kind of what I was starting to touch on with the extreme measures, right? Because me personally, I will never try to justify the side of the killer or the mass murderer in like any of these situations, right? But like when I think of those ages, right, I do start to think about like again what pushed them. So bullying is rampant.
Were you bullied?
Me personally, I've some people have tried to bully me, but I shut it down.
So you encountered bullying.
People who tried to.
Majority of us. Like I'm gonna sit here and say, as many bullies as there are like there. Okay, for every bully, there's a victim. All right. Okay. My whole thing is this. Like it happens. Like,
but you got to think about their home life too. Like
we got to think about their home life.
People got to express.
Did you go to bed and not eat one night in your life? Did you?
I'm saying if he had nobody to go to or express, it's like if he really didn't have nobody on his side. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying it's like that could be a reason as to what pushed him. And if that's the case, we need to be more aware of those situations and know when to step in. It's like I'm pretty sure he didn't just one day just was like, okay, I'm gonna just do this.
That's basically exactly what he did. Actually, yes, that's exactly what he did. He woke up one day and he said, I'm gonna go to my school, I'm about to shoot up everybody. He's a monster. These are monsters. It's like,
but do you think monsters are created or born?
Go there, they are both. Okay, both. Monsters are born and monsters are created. And it all goes back to one thing. Parents. Okay? Now, what his problem is that his parents didn't teach him how to handle situations, how to deal with the bad stuff that was going on in his life. But y'all know we got other stuff happening in the sense. But the thing is that to me, like, only way we gonna get better from these type of situations is just to tell people to suck it up. Suck it up. Stop carrying the baggage.
Mhm.
Stop letting somebody break your heart, and then now you're gonna cry all night and tomorrow and the next day, and then you feel like everybody around you supposed to cry while you crying. No, this not that type of community no more.
Mhm.
We're gonna start looking at you weird, like why you crying, and so you can wipe your tears, and you're gonna get up off your behind and do something. Because right now, what we have a generation that's coddled, and at a certain point to where like they like are, they're restricted, they're limited in their mindset. Like we can barely even handle situations, and it's due to a lot of things. Maybe because most of our confrontations are on a screen. So in real life, if you ever have a real life altercation, you don't know how to deal with that. Bullying back in the day wasn't an issue because in real life, the only time you seen your bully was at school, and you go home, you don't never have to deal with that stuff no more. Now it follows you, but people don't know how to deal with it. If you understood how to deal with it, then you wouldn't be an issue. So we just gotta just pray and hope that people learn how to deal with their issues, because you can't let your issue become everybody else's issue. That was Hitler, and we seen what happened there.
But Hitler issue was he was just full of hate.
That's what do you say about somebody who walks into a store and shoots it up?
But we get that.
What
but
do
we
we
say,
say?
but the for one, using Hitler was a horrible analogy. For
It's
two,
definitely the same thing. To me,
How?
it's all about progression. If this dude was not stopped, who's to say he wouldn't be the next Hitler? And
what do
my
you
whole-
mean? Because Hitler. But hold on, wait a minute. Now we got to talk about Hitler for some reason.
No, we don't.
We don't. But the whole thing is, what we saying is like, it's not like he was just his thought, his very like he didn't just wake up by himself without any initial previous inclination to be like,
Y'all give
I want to
him a
go
lot of
shoot up my
credit.
school. I want to go shoot my
Why
school.
do y'all believe? Y'all honestly, this is-
People
we not
get that-
saying-
people
we
get that
not-
in some type of way.
I
We not
can't buy
we
it.
not
People get that
saying
in
That's
some
my
type
whole
of way.
thing.
You're saying
that-
people can just one day wake up and be evil, or it's like one day people could just wake up and like commit atrocities. But I don't believe that. I believe it's not justifying what they did. It's just providing the explanation on how they got there, on how they got to the point where it's like, okay,
Because
this is what I'm gonna do, or this is what
if
I'm
if it
gonna
was
do.
an outside
explanation.
force, what do you mean?
Listen, okay, let's jump to it. Okay, the outside force. Let's say that maybe his girlfriend dumped him. Let's say that maybe he got jumped by gang members. Let's say that maybe he's getting beat at home by his parents. Let's throw all these wild circumstances. It does not justify what we see
know it
happen.
doesn't. We know it
So this
doesn't.
is my whole thing.
But in
We
order
trying
to
draw a
prevent, you have to know the cause.
Yeah.
Man,
the cause
okay.
was this. This is
Because
my whole thing.
then again,
First,
remember
we
my
need
point
metal
was like,
detectors in schools. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the first. We have lack of security measures.
Mhm. That's true.
That's the cause.
That's true.
The second cause is that why is there guns being floated around in our community that could just end up in the hands of a 15-year-old? Now, this is my thing. When I was 15, I probably had erratic decision making. This what this was. He doesn't know how to make decisions. Now we could sit there and like nitpick the situation and be like, maybe his mama caused it, maybe his grandma, maybe his cousins caused it. But the thing is that real life, no, he made an error in judgment. But my whole thing is that we could have been that same kid. But the difference was we didn't have no gun to just walk into school with. Even if we had access to it, we knew that's something we shouldn't be doing. Why?
Yeah.
Because that's something our parents instilled with us. He didn't have that. So he was missing some good common sense. That's what he was missing. But like to say that it was somebody else's fault around, to say that it's other people making him.
No, it's not. We're
it's
not saying that
that
it's his fault, man. Okay.
No, but y'all saying
we
it's
can
other
touch
people's
back.
fault.
We
Y'all
can
saying
touch
it's other
back
people's fault, though.
because
No, not
we
saying
not
it's other
saying
people.
that.
But there's just explanations as to like that can help us better understand where he could have been mentally before the day he snapped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's something to know.
Because hold on, because you made a statement. You made a statement talking about some just suck it up. Okay, let's take all those same explanations. Let's say he was getting beat at school every day.
Right.
Let's say that girls were hoeing him every day. Let's say
Right.
his parents were abusive to him every day.
Right.
It's
Sound
I
like
don't
people
think it's fair to just say suck that up when you're not in that. Like if he's living that every day, and then again,
Point.
there could have been a
No,
different way he
no,
could have
no, no,
he could have
no.
exacted his anger, or there could have been a different way he like that could have played out. But
Y'all
again,
know
you
I'm
got to
about
think
shut
about
this down because y'all talking to
People
a
see
real
mass
black
shootings.
man in America.
What do you mean?
I'm dark skinned black. All right, I had to go there to say this. I face stuff.
Uh-huh.
We all face stuff.
yeah.
Real life stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's no game. Like when I get pulled over by the police officer, come on, I didn't mean to have to use the stereotype. It's like this. We all go through things that are emotionally charged that could change the character of us. But you know what we do? We hold on to the truths that are in our lives. Why? Because we got something that's valuable to us. We got it's probably our reputation, it's maybe our soul. I don't know, it might be our connection with our high power. But the thing is that he didn't have that. So to make him the outlier, to be like, you know what? It was something we all messed up. No, baby. He messed up. That's the real problem. He got a real problem. How you walk into a school where people, honestly, these people ain't do nothing to you. The only reason why they there in the same place that you in is because y'all got the same zip code, baby. Ain't no other reason why y'all in the same place. This dude is, if he really wanted to kill somebody, I'm telling you, the person he probably was killing it's probably, y'all know who it was. And he probably seen him in the mirror all the time. That's the issue. He didn't like something that was going on within him. And so he wanted to take out that anger on other people. That's my problem with the people that's living in our society today. They have internal things, but instead of them being reflective and progressive, you know what you want to do? You want to be vindictive and take it out on everybody else around you. It's unacceptable. And I'm not going to justify it and be like somebody else, nah, we didn't do nothing. He messed up. He literally messed up. And y'all might not agree with me, but that's where I'm standing on that. And what time is it? We should just jump. You know what? That ended the stands because that right there, that was the whole stand. But y'all need to just stay aware about some of the other things that is happening. And that's the fact that there is some new COVID out here. So hide your kids and hide your wives and everybody else. And quickly, I'm going to say shout out to my girl Rihanna because you're going to forever be my baby mama. Always, girl. But nah, real life, Rihanna just got named the Right Excellent of Barbados. So, like, shout out to her. She's definitely considered Barbados' hero. And that's my number one. So, anything you're doing, we support you. You want me to come out to Barbados to speak to the people? I got you for free. For free, girl. Yeah, for free. And y'all already know, like, everything that we're doing here is brought to us by Ambassador Studios. So, tap in to win. You looking to create you some content. You looking to make you a podcast. We the best place in Detroit. We the best place in the world.
No cap.
So we can help you today. Just tap in with us. And we know you out there, you got a lot of talent. You got everything that you need to go to the next level. So we want to help you do that. Tap in with the Ambassador Agency. And what we're going to do is help get you booked. You need to be booked and paid today. So tap in with me. Slide right into my DMs at MR Coolio Jones. And we're going to get you booked and paid. Now we're going to go to my guy. Taj, bro, I want to get that exclusive interview with you right now. That exclusive.
What's up? Talk to me. What you trying to know?
Real exclusive.
What's up? What's up?
That exclusive. That ain't nobody
only here.
got.
Nobody else.
So
the one and only.
I want to go back to what kindergarten you go to?
Kindergarten. Spain. No, Spain. Spain elementary, middle school.
In Detroit?
Yeah, Bowlby. Over by the DMC. Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
Right across the street from Children's Hospital. Yeah.
Wow.
I actually somewhere like in that kindergarten, like elementary type phase, I went over to Bow for a while. Wow. Bow Elementary. I think that was over off Warren. I can't really remember. But then I spent like the rest of my time, at Spain.
Wow. You know, it's always interesting to just figure out kind of where the education started for a lot of our superstars in the city. So for those of them that may not know what you do, I want you to give like a light introduction of yourself and tell everybody, about you, man.
Yeah. So my name is Taj. I'm 22. Born and raised Detroit. Well, actually, when I was younger, I moved to New Mexico. In I think the 4th or 5th grade, somewhere around that time. I was there for a year, so it had to have been 4th to 5th due to my parents' work. I stayed in New Mexico for about a year, then moved back. No, and I spent the year in Chicago too. So a year in New Mexico, a year in Chicago. But I was born and raised in Detroit, and we came back to Detroit. Basically where I've been raised, a little bit all over the city. But, I'm a poet. I'm a cellist. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. I'm a lot, man. I mean, it's a lot to it. I mean, I play all types of instruments. At one point in time, I could sing, but you know,
Hey.
I started smoking, voice messed up. My voice is through. But I mean, yeah, no, I'm chill. I went to Western Michigan University, graduated from Cass Tech, so I'm a Cass Tech alum.
Hey, Cass Tech.
IB diploma student. So
hey.
Yeah, I graduated with IB. You know, went to Western. Yeah, I just been home, just been chilling, trying to get my thing going. You know, I'll be visiting the Raw space. Whenever I go out on my poetry thing every Wednesday from 8 to 11. Over off McNichols.
Because that's where we met.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's where I met you.
Bro,
yeah.
That's crazy.
And I be going to that other spot. I can't remember the name of it. I'm gonna find out though. I gotta ask the old folks. I gotta ask the old folks. But yeah, no, me personally, my life consists of really just family.
Yes.
I'm a big family man. So hang out with my sisters. I got a big family with my mom. Hang out with the homies. I'm around a lot of creators too. Like I got a lot of friends who, you know, work with some type of creativity or some type of art, both here and back in Kalamazoo at Western.
Wow. So poetry, what did that and when did that start for you?
Kid you not, I think, what grade was I in? I was in like the 6th grade, right?
Wow.
And then so our teacher gave us an assignment. She said it was like write a poem, and for some reason I wrote this poem about like Dexter and Linwood.
Wow.
Now I never lived off Dexter or Linwood, but it was like, you know, I grew up in like that type of environment, and like we all know Dexter and Linwood, those in the city. So like I wrote a piece about it, and then so like my teacher read it, you know, she graded and everything, but I brought it back home. I was like, hey Ma, look at this. Yeah. And she read it. Like I gave it to her and I walked away. You know, I was just like here, and like I left type of thing. And you know, she came into my room, you know, she was crying. She was like, wow, dang, you wrote this? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I wrote it in class. It was an assignment. You know, she like, this is beautiful. Wow. And I'm like, okay. You know, I'm chill. I'm a kid. I'm like, I just did this kind of thing. I thought it was cool. And she's like, nah, I'm gonna frame this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And like, she was just so amazed. But the crazy thing is, I didn't do poetry after that. Wow. Like, even though that was like the first time I had to do poetry. Right. I didn't do poetry after that. And I don't think it was until like late high school. Well, no, it was until college. Because in high school, I started dabbling with music. Right. You know, start writing stuff. You know, you do freestyle stuff with your homie. I mean, light music stuff. And then as I got into college, it became a little bit more serious. I had a couple of friends who had I had this one friend actually. His name was Ellis. Ellis Bobbitt. Bobbitt, I think it's Bobbitt, but Ellis. And he had this studio in his dorm room. I'm talking about full on. He had the keyboard, the drum sets, like everything. He had the lights, he had the recording stuff, everything. And so we in there just laying stuff. And, you know, I made tracks with a few people, but like I never released nothing. We were really just doing like a lot of under stuff like between my studies. But then after a while, I was just like, you know, it's like I don't really envision myself as like the rapper type. And like, I don't really see this for myself. So like after that, I was like, you know, what if I did poetry? It's like, I'm already writing lyrics. I was like one night I was like, you know, instead of me writing a rap, what if I wrote a poem? Right. And then so I wrote a poem. And then next thing you know, I write another poem. And then, you know, in college, you're surrounded by all these other creative minds. And I eventually met like so many people up there who was like also in tune with it all. One of my biggest kind of like poem buddies was Leslie Barajas. I call her Biscuit. Biscuit. We talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it that one time. You was Biscuit too?
I was a Biscuit, yeah.
You was a Biscuit?
Yeah, back in the day.
A golden biscuit or?
That's a whole story for another time.
Okay. But yeah, it was like, and so I don't know. It's up at Western. It just kind of like cultivated and grew. And that was probably the time I did my first show. Wow. Probably up at Western. I think. Where was it? I think the first time I actually performed was at this huge showcase. Wow. Western.
See, look, that's how the superstars start.
Man, and I was nervous too. Well, I mean, not so much because I was used to the stage because I was doing back in like middle school and high school. I was in the orchestra. I was like a cellist. So I was used to the stage and everything. But you know, every now and then you get those butterflies. I was used to the stage. So like I knew how to have stage presence and everything, right? But like it was called the Multicultural Diversity and Inclusion. And it was like this really big showcase that's put on once a year at Western. It was just like really, it was one of our big art showcases. And like I signed up, I had a mentor. Her name was Miss Fuller. Wow. Miss Fuller. Her and Miss Murray was some of my mentors. But Miss Fuller was like, you know, come do it. Because I was sharing some stuff with her, you know, being that, you know, I came to her for a lot of advice. You know, I was sharing some stuff. She's like, oh, I didn't know you did this. And the more I told her, she was like, okay, do it. Perform, sign up. And then she signed me up for it, and I went out there. And I performed this piece. I think it's From Me to You. I performed it in front of everybody. It was like one of those like lovey kind of pieces, and like the ladies was loving it. And so like once I got that kind of feedback, and I was hearing like a lot of people was like, "Hey, aren't you Taj?" And I was like, "Oh dang!" I was like, "Okay." I was like,
"You still know that piece, From Me to You?" Put you on the spot.
I do.
Okay, well you gotta kick it. And I know every time you hit the stage, you like say something.
Yeah, it's my go-to phrase. It's my I'm trying to make it my staple.
Yo, brand.
My staple. It's gosh. Dang.
I love putting you on the spot.
Okay, I remember it. No, I just need to see something. So it's closed mouths don't get fed, so come feed me. Nourish and provide me with guidance. My David needs a Goliath. The pressure's only better when you provide it. So let's eat this in silence. My little staple.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, but so that piece that I performed at the multicultural event is titled From Me to You, right? So
let's see.
It goes like, you are the bestest. You have this unexplainable leverage over my person. Like, I smile in pretense, but your presence forces me to subconsciously rethink, and this charcoal layer of skin begins to melt and fall away. See, you have this overbearing effect. You rush in fear of being average. I counteract with smooth tactile tactics. So you have this thing you do. You make that perfect eye contact with infinite length, and you have that sway in your stride every time that I glance, and how that smile always seems somehow to make me somehow make sense. I'm sorry, I was distracted by so much in common, yet varied enough to substantiate growth. See, your talent and intelligence rivals Pluto and all the distinguished men of science. Yes, your taste and elegance has me answering your highness. Your holy connections, you must be sent from Messiah. Your name's not Mariah, but you sing like Mariah. You bounce and roll as if you had the songs of Jubilee. I watch with a mouthful of flesh as the salt gets heavy. See, you have scars. They were deep, but did not wound you. You let me in, and I have fertilized your future. See, to be wealthily happy, let's start a movement. Let's play the music with the bass and treble. Let's do something romantic. I cook us dinner. You are the bestest, if you let me tell it. But history has proven me the common fool. So if given the chance to tell it, how would you? From me to you.
Wow. Wow.
Just,
my guy, that's lit. That's lit right there.
Yeah, and so I performed that. It was like one of my like starting pieces, you know. Wrote it a little bit about like, it was all about the future, you know. It's like the one, you know. We always think about the one, you know. Who am I gonna get, you know? It's a poem to whoever is meant to be, you know. Or that's, you know, the idea behind it when I had wrote it. And so that kind of just jump started things, man. One thing led to another. I started performing at Western. I started to become a somewhat common face there. But then when I came back home from college, I found the raw space. I was looking around for a poetry place. My family was like, let's go here. They actually introduced me to the spot. And I kind of been going there ever since. And I started to create a little name at the raw space.
A little name.
And then, one thing led to another. And now, man, all I'm really doing is just working, trying to build better for myself. You know, making one step after another, one move after another, and really just trying to build for myself. Still trying to get my name out there a little bit more. You know, been performing, working, just being a family man. I'm chill, cut back, laid back, cool, all that. Yeah,
man, you the GOAT. You know, it's such a pleasure to be able to talk with you about this.
Oh yeah.
I definitely want to hear like one more piece so you can like just leave us with something. But before we go into that, I want to talk about your influences because you talked about like your mom, you know, like you just seeing her get emotional, like just how, you know, that moves you. But just whoever it is, whatever it is, why did you step out and actually write? You know, like not like no school assignment, not like for no competition. I'm talking about that piece where you honestly putting your feelings in, and you don't even care if anybody hears it or not, but it does something for you on the inside to just get it out.
So I can actually speak very personally to that because around the time I had went to college, so late high school or early college, I was having a lot of family issues. Honestly, I was dealing with a lot with my family. I wasn't in the best place, and not my whole family, but like certain individuals, you know, I just wasn't in the best place. I was personally going through a lot on top of that, on top of like school. It was my personal stress, you know, my personal point in my life where I was like, I'm really at my lowest right now. Even though I may look like I'm at my best, you know, because the grades were there. You know, I graduated with IB and I mean, I was there.
Yes.
But even though I may have seemed like I was performing and seemed like I was okay, I was at my like one of my lowest points. And when I got to college, that was really kind of like the start of my healing phase, you know, because it's like my whole thing was I'm ready to get out the city. I'm ready to get out of home. I'm ready to be on my own, independent. It's like I need my own space. Once I got to college, I got that space, you know, and not only do you get that space for yourself to live your life how you want it, because, you know, nobody up at college telling you how to do, when to do. You sign up for your own class, you in charge of your life. And that's something I had always been looking for, is to take control of my own life. Okay. And so once I got there, you know, not only being able to do that for myself and be independent like I wanted to be, you surrounded by all these creative minds, all this creative spirit, everybody doing something, everybody creating something, everybody making a way for themselves. You know, I told you, it's like when I first got there, I was doing this whole like low key rapping thing, not really doing it, more like a hobby type thing. But it was like one night I sat down, and it was actually after having a really deep conversation. Actually, I had a really deep conversation with my mother, and I'm sitting in my room, and I had got on the LED bus too. So I got the LED lights in the room. I had on the dark blue. I was feeling it. And, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, I really need to get something out. And it was like, I didn't want to write a piece. I'm not about to I didn't want to write a rap about it. I was like, I need to get this out. And so I was like, and that was the time I wrote probably one of my deepest pieces. And it's called Sincerely From I. And I wrote it about my mother, my dad, and my sister. And it was probably one of the deepest things I ever wrote. And it was one of those things where I wrote it and I haven't even performed it anywhere ever. Wow. I've never performed it. It's just kind of like been in there.
Would you do it for us?
It's some like somber, deep type stuff. It's some deep type stuff.
I would love it. I would love if you want to just this way, that's valid. You can have this space.
I mean, if that's the movie, I mean, I have no issue. I mean, yeah, I perform it. But so like kind of the space I was in, right?
Yes.
So essentially, I was going through a lot of things with my mother. I really was. And a lot of words were said back and forth. Yes. And we just weren't in the best place.
Wow.
On top of the fact that my dad, we were actually in a good space. Mm-hmm. And that's crazy because, I mean, in my childhood, he was involved in some things, and him and my mother had a certain type of a beef, a disagreement kind of thing. And so he was there, but at the same time, it was like he was involved in other stuff. So, you know, that kind of thing. And then me and my sister, at this point in time, we had a strong relationship. But being that I was away from the house, a lot of the things me and my mother were going through, a little bit kind of played out on her. Or she had to step up in certain ways around the house because I was gone, because, you know, I was the oldest in the house. So it was a lot of things they came to me or depended on me for. It's like a lot of things I took initiative in doing in the house. Not even just like chores type of things, but just like certain things involving my mother. Right. And then so when she had to pick up that slack, you know, I kind of like paid a little tribute to her in this, because it was like, you know, I love you. Even though I'm not there, or I mean, I seem not like I'm there. Mm-hmm. I'm here for you and I love you. Mm-hmm. And I paid tribute to my dad kind of thing, because, I mean, you'll hear it in the piece, but I mean, it's a little deep. So again, you probably one of the first people I would be saying this for. So
thank you.
Here you go. I mean, it's titled Sincerely From. Mama, I love you. Dear you, darling, you so pitiful. I gave you everything 9 months inside my swimming pool, you ungrateful bastard. If only your father was more impactful. You always act like you're better than us. Have fun with your new family. See, I hate you. My life is full of mistakes and regrets, and you're the living proof. You would never succeed with all that black in your juice. You can act white if you wanna. Don't come back and don't contact my daughters. We're done. I just wanted somebody to love me. Who would have known my choice would turn out so ugly? Sincerely from your mother. Hey, yo, I ain't heard from you in a minute. I hope you ain't forgot about me. Remember when you was 16, I took you to that strip club? You think your mother forgot it? Probably. And look, if you need some shoes, I got you, brother. That's the least that I can do. And I know I wasn't there before, but shit, parents ain't a pick and choose. Tell your aunt and uncle thank you for me. They did more than I ever could. I was young and dumb, and that's no excuse, but one day you'll understand my words fully. Look, I know I failed you, and I know you hate me. I'm here now, but 18 years was wasted. It was your mother's fault. But always show her love and respect. She made you a great man, and for that, I have no regrets. But I'm going to be over in a few days. We going to grab some food and sip on this douce. Sincerely from your dad. Since you've left, I've been in hell. She takes the anger out of me. I can never go anywhere constantly giving a 7-year-old showers and no apologies. I love you, and I miss you. I forgive you for the past, but I wish you never left. Tanasia doesn't show it, but she misses you most. I'm so tired. And I see what you went through and why it made you leave, but we depended on you. You're so much stronger than we. Tell me how you did it. School, work, and children. I'm only 16, and it's like I'm never finished. I miss you, though, and can't wait till you come home. I'm taking care of the girls. Just wish it wasn't alone. I'll call you tomorrow. It's this new boy I met. Sincerely from your sister. And there's the part where I respond. Dear Pops, stop hating yourself. I cherished every second of your presence. I was never upset and excited for every weekend I could play the game in your bedroom. Stop flaunting your wealth. I only care about time. You make more effort than my mother ever has, and that's the shit that stays in my mind. She was mad upset about that strip club. But a street nigga can only show street love. I always protected you. My social skills lacked over distance. That was ingrained by my mother and all of her children. See, you willing to go the distance. Raised in the streets, it was other ways you saved me. And I wouldn't trade you for any other dad. Pops, you're mine and you haven't failed me once. I love and respect you more than any man. So stop getting deep. It wasn't a day that I blamed you. The do say runs in our blood, so when you come, just make sure you got that juice. I love you. Sincerely from your son. Dear lady, I miss you too, my little lady. I wish I was a better example for you at a younger age, but the domestic was so toxic I developed similar copacetic ways. I'm here for you now. Keep your head down and don't run at the mouth. Do as she asks. Give me till college over and I'm getting y'all out. I know it's a lot. I didn't want to leave y'all in that drainage sphere so noxious. My departure is just a part of the plot, sis. Call me often, have fun, and don't complain. Even then, she'll still use you as a reservoir for all that hate. You'll be out soon. Don't worry, sit and pray. A new boy, huh? Okay. What's his name? Sincerely from your brother. I'm vindictive, and that's not how you made me. But you gotta face the result of admitting your hatred. The mistakes that lie faceless are no longer nameless. And mama, I wish that I could be your accomplishment. You said my dreams are far-fetched. Mama, if I reach, it's Odell Heights with an Ali sting. Taking risks when I say I love you just to see what drama it brings. I told you my love is stronger than your hatred. You're insecure and broken. I accept your pain. The hatred you give, the more I rise, for I am chosen. I pray you find happiness. I just hope it's not in another nigga. Listen to your children. It's a big difference between a nigga fucking on you than fucking with you. It would have been a time I said I hate you too. But that cut runs deep and there's nothing that my love can't prove. But you see, you got to work on you. So for now, mama, it's fuck you too. Everything I've done thus far was to maintain the fantasy within your smile. So many broken promises. You hate my vocabulary because it challenges your consciousness. You're ignorant. And you got pregnant at 15. Operating with a man who had no good deeds. My life was your choice, but my success is inevitable. Every walking man and woman can question it, but it's set in stone. There are scriptures of my experience printed in diamond. I am a man whose skin that is darker than white, but lacks melanin and heart of amethyst. I've never been cocky, mama. But as a child, my courage, confidence lack prevalence. I'm not a kid and will never be in a kid's place no more. Regretting me is forfeiting your future. My sisters are entangled to my soul in sutures. I seek to be a better man for myself. I always looked up at you. If only you had a sense of established wealth. Nevertheless, I love you. That much is truth. I'm light-skinned as fuck, but you could never know the flavor of my juice. Sincerely from who? And that's that piece.
Dog, you never failed to deliver. Taj, you a superstar. Dog, every time I hear you, like, it's just, it sucks me all the way in because you have really great content. And I really do wish you the best with that. And everything that's coming in front of you, I just know it's going to be exciting. I know it's going to be amazing because of everything you put into it. When you create things that are just so pure at heart, you know, the world can't do anything but recognize it and love it. You know,
I appreciate
because it's
that.
coming from such a real place. So
Thank you.
I'm really excited for what the future has for you, man. And I just want to thank you again for joining us today.
Oh yeah, of course. I do want to say a lot of this has been addressed. Again, that was in a hurt place. Me and my mama, we Gucci, we straight. Me and mama, you know, that's my baby. I'm her baby.
Definitely.
Me and my sister, we straight. You know, me and my pops, everything's straight. You know, again, this is a hurt place. Everything blessed now, and you know that's the kind of mentality I got. You know, stay blessed, never stress. Keep that mentality. Everything will work out how it's meant to be. Sometimes we got to go through things, but shoot, you know, he got us. You know, we here.
For real. And that is the best way to show people how to handle their hurt, how to handle, you know, a time where you just need to get something off your heart. You know, write it out, make a song, do a dance, do whatever you have to do. Don't take a gun into a school.
Don't.
All right. So you heard it here first. It's Paradise Valley. Twine, you got anything for the folks?
Hey man. Snap. Honestly, thank y'all for joining. I'm not even, you know, on the camera at this point, but I just appreciate everybody. Tosh, I appreciate you, bro. Everything was beautiful, man.
It's good energy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Everything was lovely.
Thank you.
Just want to say happy holidays, man, and thanks for tuning in to Paradise Valley with Coolio Jones. Actually, no, I do got something to say. I got something real important to say. And I got to hurry it up. Because guess what?
What's up?
ASAP Rocky, it's not your baby mama. Nah. Everybody, we'll catch y'all.
We got you.
Oh my gosh. As I always say, in paradise, you can have it your way. And that's cool.